built in replica of is very important and famous at our country because that is where the largest jade piece, the jade head, was found through the Maya work, right here in our country. Now Belize is the only English-speaking country in Central America. We like to say Belize is the only English-speaking country in Central America, but later on you will find out that what we do speak here is Creole, a broken English. Our Creole is English-based, and you will learn that later on as well. Our second language would be Spanish, and English is what we would call more of a professional language. We use it mainly when we're speaking with you guys or working with you guys, and in some business and workplaces. So, if you hear my Creole kicking in every now and then, please forgive me. Just let me know if you're understanding me throughout this tour. Now coming up on the left-hand side, you'll notice a blue wall. There's a red roof building. That's on the driver's side. That's the Mexican Embassy and Institute. You can go there to learn their culture, learn to speak Spanish, take Spanish classes there as well. And we also have a larger agent located in the capital, Belmopan City, approximately 52 miles from here. On the right, you will not see anything much, but I'm going to point it out. Behind the concrete wall is the MCC ground. MCC stands for Marylebone Cricket Club. When the British were here, that was one of the more famous sports, especially in the city. And then when they left, football, what you call soccer, is our most popular sport in Belize. So that is our national football stadium. Most games will be played out in that field. It is still known as the MCC grounds. It still carries the same name. Now cricket is not a popular sport within Belize City, but a few rural areas and different villages would also play that sport still today. Football would be the most famous. Softball would follow next. We also play basketball here and volleyball and other sports, but they won't be popular. They would just be a club or something like that. Now you will get to view what I've been telling you about, the small narrow streets within our city. You'll be able to see a few or a small portion of Belize City. The way we construct our homes, business, and so forth. The roads and all. This is what you would see mainly throughout the entire city. Now this isn't downtown Belize City, so you won't see much activity at this hour. Within like between 8 o'clock to 9, that is when the traffic would get a little more congested. Everyone hustling and bustling to work, schools and so forth. So we're kind of early, and that will help us get out of the city a little quicker. Now you will not notice, that we stop at the first set of stoplights. Don't look out to see many of them. We have only 7 stoplights within the entire country. Six of them in working condition. So you don't have to worry about those. We don't have highway patrols either. So you country, you won't see the prices hanging from them. It tends to change every other month. And when they do, it's always going up. Last week, Tuesday, I guess, it went up to like $6 US per US gallon of gas. Belize has its own currency, and the exchange rate would be 2 Belize to 1 US. Belizeans are paying about $12 in some places $11 and some cents, and for a gallon of gas. So although a lot of people own their own cars and vehicles, people like myself, we prefer to stick with our BMWs. They serve us better. Now remember, speed bumps are known as sleeping policemen. So BMW stands for Better Me Walk, that's Creole. Better Me Walk in English. Or you purchase a bicycle that will get you throughout the city or town. And if you need to get into another district, then you would catch a public bus, pay a small fare. For example, I would travel like 2 hours in the morning. I pay a small fare of like $5 Belize, that's